we perhaps don't feel the need to fight for survival. However, the fights still continue. So I want to ask each of you, when did you have to put up a fight, despite the privilege that you might have carried? And how did somebody around you tell you to stand up for yourself? Like, was there ever a moment where you said, I may be a woman or I may be a girl, but you don't get to tell me this?
I'm very, very grateful for the life that I have and the battles that my foremothers have fought, because my great-grandmother was married at the age of 9 and she had a child at the age of 13. There was very little agency that she had in her life. My grandmother wanted to do an MA in Bengal, and she was not allowed to because men went away and studied in higher education and women were not. You weren't allowed to do that. She was, in fact, she did persevere. She fought that battle. It cost 50 rupees for her to do her MA. And her father said, I will give you a 50 rupee sari. The sari costed the same, a Banarasi sari. She said, I don't want that. This may be my wedding trousseau, etc. But I would rather spend it on my MBA, on my MA. She did an MA. And she was the first woman in our family, one of the first women in Bengal to get an MA, actually. But she studied from home. It was a long distance course because her going to college was unheard of. My mother, of course, very empowered, working from the age of 13, was asked her whole entire life, how did your husband ever allow you to work or be an actress? Because it is considered, good girls don't become actors. So I feel like these were battles that they fought so hard for, that when it came to me, I was never, I got married at the age of 36, which is very late in the day. There was normal parental concern in that, are you happy? But nobody ever, there were some wrong choices along the way. My mother would be like, who's this boy? But again, like, she would make her disapproval very, very evident, but she never said, I forbid you. I got to go to Oxford. They spent a lot of money on my education. I did an MA, after that an MSc in International Relations. Nobody ever said, why? In fact, I'm the only person in my family with a college degree, I think. Also, so they were quite excited actually about that. They were like, really? You want to study more? Great. Chose to have a child much later in life. I think something, though, that still pinches me a little is that even today, even among affluent families, well-educated families from all backgrounds, there still is an expectation that if you don't have a son, your life is somehow incomplete. And I have a daughter. I'm very happy. Most people around me are also happy or say the right things. But there's a sense somewhere that maybe you've disappointed someone by not having had a son. Why? Because I feel that women are going to work today. They're earning money. They're independent. But they don't carry the family name. So when my daughter gets married, she may choose to keep her family name, as I have, or she may choose to choose her husband's name. I don't even know who she's going to marry, whether marriage will exist when she gets married, who will be marrying whom. That's a separate conversation entirely. But I know that that legacy, that lineage ends. So perhaps that's where it comes from, which I suspect is tied up with a little bit of male ego.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But maybe some men here can tell us why. What is the obsession with sons?
Has the media been unfair or unkind? Or forget the media. People who view your life, what is it that you can turn around and tell us? How can we be better?
Firstly, I fully believe in everybody's right to say and do whatever they want to. I believe that the media is a pillar of democracy, and the purpose is to also hold other people accountable, to spread information. Now you have media, and then you have sensationalism, and you have to choose what kind of writer, journalist, reporter you want to be. Unfortunately, lots of people become popular because they might amplify the wrong things, or they might want to. Sometimes, I will always give an interview and I'll be like, oh, I know what the headline is going to be. Something that I've said is a complete and is taken out of context, and that's become the headline, and the whole interview is about something else. And usually it's not even about me, it's about some other member of my family who's more appealing to the media. And I'm like, guys, that was not the intent at all. So what I'm saying is I completely agree with what Nushrratt said, is that people read and believe. Sometimes I feel like nobody's going to believe that, but people actually believe what you write. And that means that there must be responsibility attributed to it. Basically, I think I've been quite thick-skinned. I come from a family where people like to discuss members of my family quite a lot and what we do and say, so it doesn't bother me to an extent. I've tried to carve out my own identity within that. One thing that gets almost amusing to a point is I know that if I post something, usually someone's commenting on my religion. And because I'm married into a Hindi family, my mother has a Hindu surname. She married a Muslim person. Usually if we post something on Diwali, it's like, oh, how many rosas have you kept? If you post something on Holi, what kind of Muslim are you? It doesn't bother me at all. But I'm just saying that I've noted these things. So commenting, I think, on even when it comes to people's appearances, I feel like there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of hate. I don't know where it comes from. I feel it's societal. I feel like as a society right now, we get a lot of happiness from bitching about people. We really like to sit and bitch, and we like to bring people down.
Yeah.
Women bringing women down is classic. You know, generally, when you see a woman and she's not looking good, or you feel like, oh, she's let herself go, she's looking older, it gives you great joy. I don't know why. So I think that maybe we need to introspect a little bit and think about what it is that is making us happy or unhappy, and why this validation is coming from other places. And then maybe just report, there must be some kind of ethical
But I
system
agree with
that
you. You know, when I've said this to my team of members who I'm constantly with from morning to night and from this world, I say this. I said, tomorrow if I tell you, oh, Soha, so sweet and so nice, you'll be like, okay. But if I tell you, listen, what a disgusting way to talk to me, you'll be like, really?
Yeah.
I believe you. Why
not
would you believe the
interesting.
bad thing like
Yeah.
this, and you wouldn't even bat an eyelid to something nice I'm saying about someone? But that's just how we've become. That's just how the whole, and I don't mean just here, I mean everywhere. That's just become something we've all taken to. I don't know.